Hello everybody, today we're doing an unboxing. These are called nail spotters. Nail spotters are basically used in when new builds, room additions, large projects when we have to use these taping tools. These nail spotters are used to basically coat all the rows of nails, the rows of screws. It's hooked up onto a pole and you pump the mud in the nail spotter and you basically have to go through and just spot each of the nails. This is more of a drywall journeyman taper tool that's used. I basically have two brand new level 5 nail spotters, 3-inch nail spotters here. There's a generation 1, that's the stainless steel one. Then the newer style is a generation 2. You would think the generation 2 would be better. Of course, visually it looks nice. Nice red finish, black aluminum finish. But there's a few things I don't like just right out of the box. I compare the older style one they have with the newer style. First, I noticed the wheels. The old style had metal wheels. The new one has plastic wheels. Plastic's fine, but in the rough construction world, plastic breaks. We're throwing these tools around, they're getting used and abused, tossed around, thrown in water buckets. They're on a construction site. So the last thing you want on tools is cheap plastic parts. I haven't gave it a run for its money yet, so they probably will last a long time, but whenever I buy tools and stuff, what I don't like to see on tools is just little plastic clips, just plastic stuff. Just my experience over the years in buying tools and replacing tools, always plastic. Also, I noticed on top of the old style had a nice welded seam. The new one, it has a bunch of screws and bolts, so basically it looks like you could take it apart. I'm sure the intent was to take it apart to clean it out, but you don't want stuff leaking out of these things. You don't want parts losing screws, stuff like that. So that's another thing I noticed compared to the Generation 1 versus the Generation 2 was that welded seam, which I would prefer on all my tools. Nice tight seams. Also, I noticed on top there was a lot of screws, lots of screws on the side. That's one thing I don't like on tools either, was that all the screws. Also, the lever in the back. The reason I wanted to get the Generation 2 is because it had a lever where you can just use a coupler piece and it can screw right onto a basic sanding pole. Just screw right on. With the old style, you'd have to buy a special adapter that starts anywhere from $40 to $60. So that's why I went with the Generation 2, because I already had the screw and adapter. But yet again, the screw and adapter's on a clip, on another plastic clip. So I'm sure the plastic's strong, but I'm just telling you, just my years of buying tools and using tools, I don't like plastic. I don't like a lot of screws. One of these screws falls out while I'm working in the field and I lose it, I'm going to be in big trouble, especially if this job that I'm doing is I'm on the schedule. I have to get all this done. I lose a screw, misplace a screw backs out over time. So I'm always going to have to check all these screws with the new one. So if I had to rate them, which one would I get? I like them both, honestly. I wish I could take the adapter, pull adapter, and put it on the old style and honestly use the old style here. I haven't used these on the field yet, so I can't tell you which one's better than the other. I'm just going on visual things. When I look at tools, I just look at like screws, plastic stuff. That's just stuff that just turns me away. Just because I've replaced so many tools over the years, it's a small fortune that you put into tools. These things are also not cheap. These start anywhere from 150, they go up to 300. These are level 5, so there's even higher end ones than these when you start getting into like Tape Tech and Pyramid and these Colombian tools. There's a lot of higher end stuff than this level 5. Level 5 has really came a long way. Their stuff looks more for show. In the professional world, sure, it's used a lot, but there's other higher end stuff. I don't like plastic. That's all I can say about these taping tools. I know taping tools, if you've seen them, we have bazookas for putting the tape on, got boxes, stuff. I just like metal tools. Unless you're going to protect them and really wrap them up nicely, plastic breaks. So I'm basically going to box these up. I'm going to probably return one of them. I like to use them both in the field. The only problem is I mostly do repair work, so I'm just waiting for a bigger project when I have like 10 sheets or more where I can use these nail spotters. But yeah, simple video on unboxing a nail spotter. Thanks for viewing.